everyone, it's Dawn here with another video. Today's video is going to be the pre-flight check. I've been asked to make this video several times by different people, and to be honest, I'm a little bit confused because I thought I've covered this topic maybe in many different videos. So here is one video to address all of the pre-flight checks. I don't know. All right, so what do you do before you go on a ride? Obviously, make sure all your lights are charged up if it's going to be a night ride or has a possibility of being a night ride. A lot of Marty's rides, you know, we do the long distance rides, and it starts out in the daytime but can very well end up at night. So if there is that possibility, I make sure that I have all my lights charged up, all my electronics charged up. That would include my Garmin watch, which tells me my GPS speed. That would include, let's see, my Garmin, my Cardo. So my Cardo, and I think I was supposed to make a video about the Cardo, but I think Wrong Way just made a video about it. And if he said anything other than that it's worth it, he's wrong. But I don't know. I gotta check out his video and see what he says about it. But absolutely, the Cardo is a must-have for me, or some kind of communication device, because that also is how I get my helmet beeps. So when we talk about our helmet beeps and how important those helmet beeps are, basically it's the wheel going to the app, or however way that goes. The app sends the beeps to the helmet, and then I can actually hear it, because at speeds I can't hear the wheel beeps. So let's see, the Cardo, my Garmin watch, obviously the wheel, and your phone, and I make sure that I have all my gear, extra batteries for everything. If I have my camera, everything's all charged up, right? So everything's all charged up. I have all of my gear, which many times I have been missing one piece of gear. It's always one thing. I always forget one thing on a ride. So make sure I have all of my gear, and then make sure that the tire pressure is good. The tire pressure, it goes down every so often. So at least every 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I will at least double check the tire pressure. For me, I like my tire pressure at 36. Period. Sometimes for dirt, I may drop that down. Sometimes for racing or track, I may drop that down. I will drop my tire pressure down as low as 24, and otherwise, I guess my range would be 24 to 36. And how I determine is the higher the tire pressure, the more it can protect your rim, and better mileage on the tire, and more bonking, bounce, and maybe, let's see, I don't know. Oh, there's other things too, but I can't remember. I have another video that goes all about tire pressure. Anyways, so the lower the tire pressure, you might get more grip. If it's really cold out, then you might want to lower down. If you want more grip in the dirt, if you want a stickier ride, then lower tire pressure. And then also, okay, never mind. I don't want to spend too much time on each individual thing, but I'll check my tire pressure. Now with the shocks, if it needs air, I'll check the air as well, because I found that the air shocks, they just leak air as well. I don't know. So yeah, now it's routine that has become a thing. I have to check my, and usually by checking it, it just means put on the pump and just pump it up to make sure that it is what it is. And then I can do that on the morning of the ride or the night before, whatever, and it'll hold for that ride. And I don't know how long it holds for, but it seems to go away. So that's something that I have to check. So, oh my gosh, I'm losing track. Charge everything up, have all of your gear, have your wheel charged up, tire pressure, shock pressure, if that's what it's called, And let's see, so usually if everything is good, then on the morning of the ride, as I'm pulling out my wheel, then I will double check the tire pressure. A lot of times all I have to do is push on the tread. If I'm able to push and it gives that all, that to me it means that I need to up the pressure, because at 36 psi I can't depress it at all. So I train myself to like know the feel, and I can't tell exactly what the pressure is, but I know that if it's giving, then I need to up the air in it. So the morning of, it'll be tire pressure and the shock. Then the big thing is to have check my PWM alarms, my helmet beeps. So this is something that I never used to do, and then when I had my master cutout, the reason why I had that cutout crash is because something happened in the app or something, and there were no more helmet beeps, and I didn't know that something happened and I wasn't getting any helmet beeps. So I count on the helmet beeps. I was riding, I kept pushing, and then it cut out and I never had any beeps. So now on, I always do a spin test or lift test with my helmet on, cardo turned on, and this is how you turn on the cardo too. You push these two buttons with these two fingers. That's why I'm doing it like this. You turn on the cardo, make sure that it's on, and then do the spin test and make sure that I can hear helmet beeps and that it correlates pretty much to the PWM, that settings that I have set. So once that is done, then yeah, I just tether up, suit up, tether up, grab the wheel, and now we can ride. So I guess the only other thing I need to show you is how to set up your PWMs. Now I do have an old video about PWMs, and you can look that up, but it is an old video. That is when I was first learning how to ride and all that stuff. So I can show you now what I do now, and I can do this, I think, kind of from the beginning, because I have my Android phone, and the EX30, I was having a problem with it and darkness spot, and so I needed to reset the PWM alarms on that anyways. And then I was like, okay, well, if I make this video, then I can do it with this. So this is Android. I think there might be slight differences between Android and the iPhone, but Darkness Spot is the app that I use, and Darkness Spot is now available on Android and the iPhone, and I use the iPhone. I have the Android in case sometimes, I don't know, sometimes there are things like the firmware. You could only use EUC World or something else to update the firmware, so you needed an Android to do that, and so that's why I have this spare Android. But all right, so I guess it's time to switch over and take a look at how to set up your PWM settings on Android Darkness Spot. All right, so I have my EX30 turned on right now, and I have my Android phone. I have Darkness Spot over here. We'll go to Darkness Spot, and he already connected. When I first go into here, I do want to go into application, and I want to make sure to click on Imperial System, use miles instead of meters. That is definitely, and I don't know, I keep it at Celsius because I'm just used to that now. So we went back to the settings, and now we're going to go to device, and you know, you can check out all this stuff, but what we are looking at is the PWM correction, which is right now at 0. There's nothing in there. We will look into sound, and because these are the app alarms. The app alarms are the ones that the app is going to send to your helmet. So you can have it sound by speed or by PWM, and it is all disabled right now. And then at the bottom, well, you also have these alarms for the wheel, and Then at the bottom here, firmware uses miles, and I just check that. So we are now ready to do a spin test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a spin test, and then I'm going to come back to here. But what I will be looking for is my PWM, which is all the way here in the back. Let's hold this down and drag it to the front panel, and I'm going to put it over here because that's where I put my PWM, on the upper right hand corner. All right, let's see, how can I do this? I guess I'll put this back on the stand. All right, let's see how well we can do this now. This is going to be painful because their last firmware update makes it so it doesn't just stop the wheel anymore. It just kind of goes into neutral and winds down, which means I gotta hold onto it that whole time, and it's hard for me to keep doing that. But I have the Android phone down there. I am watching the PWMs, and there's 0 corrections. This will be as if you're starting new to set up your PWM alarms, all right? So let's take a look. So what I was looking at was my PWM. Oh, and by the way, I think you can, let's see, can you hold this and make this bigger? I am like, stop, come here. I'm like, wait, is it double? There, double tap. Oh, double tap, you can go into this. But no, I thought there was a way to make it bigger. Anyway, okay, never mind. That's nothing to do with this. Let's go back. Okay, never mind. All right, here. So I was watching the PWM and I saw it zoom all the way into the red, and I saw it zoom and all that. But what we want to do is I go to the trips, which is this button over here. Is it this one? Let's see. So max PWM was 112%. That shows me all of the stats for that trip, and so 112. What we want to do is just make that number be 100, and then what that does is now you have a scale from 0 to 100, and you know that 100 is cut out. So you want to be below 100. And once you have that scale, now you can set your PWMs to 80% beep at me. When it's at 85% beep at me, at 90% beep at me. Those are your 3 helmet beeps. And then, you know, at 100, you die. All right, so we're going to go back to the settings, the little cogwheel, go to device, and we're going to go to PWM correction, and we're going to say -12. Apply. Now we have that -12 PWM correction, and then let's see, we need to go back and we need to reset the trip reset, get it back to 0. Now everything's back down. Turn off the wheel, turn the wheel back on, or, because right now he won't balance, right? Because he just did the cutout. So, or lay him down and take him back up, just whatever to make him balance again. And this is reset, and now we're going to do another run. Oh, he balanced just like that. So I guess putting him on his kickstand and then coming back up is enough for him to reset. All right, he's reset, and I'm looking at my PWM, and let's do the second run. All right, so we have a bit of a problem. This is not working right on my Android. It works fine on my iPhone, and but I'm using the iPhone to record, so I can't show you what it says. But what it should say is when you go to the trips, then the other thing is on my iPhone, I have all the different trips, but this one only has one. And I think it's because I think to get multiple trips, you need to purchase the premium, which I did purchase on my iPhone, but I don't have that here on here. But anyways, I don't know, it's not working right. It's saying 112 still, which is the first one. And there is a feature for you to delete this. You sure you want to delete? And then yeah, I say yes, and then when I go back into it, PWM is back to 0, and then I run the test again, and it should go, but it's not. It keeps going back and saying 112, which it shouldn't, because I did set the calibration, and also I'm trying -11 right now, and also I am watching the PWM, and right now the PWM, it is cutting out at around 100. It's just that just by watching this go to 100 and then cut out, yeah, that's good. Another way that you can check it is by looking at the graph and zooming in. Will you allow me to zoom in? Yeah, you can zoom in, and then you can look at the peak and see if that says 100, something like that. But the easiest way for me was to go to trips and go to here and just say max PWM, and then it's just for you to see that number anyways, right? So anyways, let's say that we have it set, which it should be -11, -12, somewhere around there. You play around, but now you understand the concept of how to do it. Then you go into the device, and you go to the app, alarms, and sound, and then you're going to go by PWM, and you're going to have this one be, and if you want to be super safe, then make it be 70 or whatever you want, you know. But as a general rule of thumb, 80, 85, and 90 seems to be good. And I just know I will try my best not to go into my 3rd level beeps, but 1st and 2nd level beeps are fine. So now what'll happen is when the PWM number reaches 80, your first alarm beep, 85 is your second helmet beeps, and 90 is your third helmet beeps, and then you know that you are near death. So that is setting up your PWM alarms onto here, your helmet beeps. That is, so right before the ride, I'm all geared up and everything. This is what I do. I do my free spin test. I am watching the screen, making sure that this shows that it goes to 100. I go slow, and so the first run that I did, you see how I kind of did that lift test kind of fast. That's not really the way that I like to do it. I like to do it like the second run. The second run, I did it slower. And that's how I usually like to do it, because I want to see that this says 80%, and that corresponds to the helmet beeps in my helmet. That I hear my first level beeps. Then when it hits 85 PWM, I want to hear my second level beeps. 90, I want to hear my third level beeps. And then at 100, I want to see it cut off. And that confirms to me that I have all my beeps. So you'll hear me announce, you know, yay, I have my beeps, we're good to go. Or, hey, hold on, I need to check my helmet beeps. That's what I'm talking about. And all right, so there you go. I think that's it. Let me know if there are any questions and all that good stuff. Thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.